deal with it as best as we can.
You got anything on your list?
I think I still have some stuff on my list. Ooh, I got one thing that's going to be awesome.
Let me check my list. Oh, we got to talk about the Odyssey.
Ah, yeah, we got to talk about that.
I have something on here called Love Bucks. I'm trying to remember what the hell I put that. Oh, it was a set of commercials that for some contractor. I think it was like Chris or Chad Love or something like that. The commercial? It's like he has tried to cram every possible feel-good saying into the commercial.
What do you mean?
Well, it's all about the 5 B's. I forget what the first 4 are, but the last one is be better than great. Yeah. So it's a very earnest commercial, but then there's some offer of like 100 love bucks, which I'm assuming has to, because the company is named for love, but love bucks just sounds wrong.
It sounds like, to me, that sounds like there's a place called like Prostitution Land. And you only have exchange of like love bucks.
It's like tokens.
Yeah, that's like you want to buy HJ, love bucks.
It's your special love credit card.
What you know who's going to be featured there?
The
Rubber Duck Syndicate.
Look, I thought you had a joke here, but no, you're associating us with a hypothetical prostitution.
Oh
land.
yeah,
Okay.
we're the family friendly thing that's going to be going on there, while everything else is going to be going on there.
Yeah.
But people only stay from 5 minutes up to an hour, depending on your longevity. Hey, I'm honest about it. Some people walk in and they're like, all right, I'm ready. Oh, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm taking a nap.
He didn't know if he was coming or going.
Oh, Prostitution Land, where all your dreams come true for $1,000 or less.
A mere 30 miles from Betty White Land.
No, not Betty White Land. White Land. It is just called White Land, folks. Please refer to our previous podcast talking about White Land and all its gloriness.
Also, don't judge us. Who are we kidding? If you had any real judgment, you wouldn't be watching this.
White Land. Far superior than Disneyland. Yes! Oh my God, yes!
And now my neighbors are suspicious.
They're like, what are you yelling about? White Land.
Okay,
And they're behind it, they're like, tell me more about this.
what was on your list, Oh?
All right. I got one that is going to be pretty awesome.
Should we hold on for that for later?
No.
Let's start with the awesome.
This has to start right now. Because I was thinking about it and someone was talking about these movies. Ernest.
Ernest as an Ernest goes to camp. Ernest scared stupid. Those, yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude had a character and managed to build it into an empire.
I know, and he was. Guess what? He was an improviser.
I believe it.
Yeah, so he was. Dang it,
Jim Varney.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
He was essentially a phenomenal improviser and came up with this great character. I guess after like an improvised, scene, and you just kind of kept developing the character until you got to where Ernest is now. But folks, younger people out there, or our friends out there who know about Ernest, he had a series of movies. I think it was maybe like a stage play first, and then it became kind of a movie thing.
I don't know where he came from. I just remember he had at least 4 or 5 movies.
Yeah, Ernest goes to jail. But he came up with this character, Ernest, wore essentially like I want to
Like
say
bib
like
overalls.
yeah, no, it wasn't bib overalls. He wore a denim vest, gray shirt, and denim pants, boots, and he had his hat. That's why I remember it. But it wasn't full. It wasn't a full Canadian tuxedo. It was mostly it. But essentially, Ernest, he wasn't really dumb, was he? He was just. How would
He
you describe Ernest like yourself?
he had like poor impulse control. I guess I don't know. I remember he was kind of dumb, but they started off with breaking the fourth wall because he would kind of narrate his own stories as he went. And the only bit I remember was I think it's like the Ernest Goes to Camp movie, and it was basically he's like describing like, if you ever come across a badger in the wild, don't do this, and then he goes and harasses a badger. I may have misremembered that, but that's the way it stuck in my head.
Well, that's how it is now. That's the Ernest movie now. The ones I can remember were Ernest Goes Stupid.
The one with the trolls.
Yes. And Ernest Goes to Jail.
I don't think I ever saw the one in jail.
He went to jail because the trope of there's a doppelganger out there that looks exactly like Ernest,
Of course.
and that doppelganger is like,
Evil.
yeah, he was evil, and he had the process. He's like, I seen this guy. I'm gonna send him to jail, but I'm gonna be out and free and do whatever I want to. Then Ernest is in jail for a number of days, and had to kind of try to prove his innocence of like, I'm not the guy. So that's what happened.
The fugitive.
Yeah, essentially it was the like Ernest the Fugitive. But I was thinking of the idea like if Jim Varney was still alive, what other Ernest movies could be made?
Ernest Goes to Fire Festival.
Yeah, Ernest Goes to Fire Festival. Should we put him somewhere?
Kitty's gonna kitty.
Okay.
Yeah, he's staying just out of frame, but
Not
ladies and gentlemen, here is Cheez It, the podcast cat. Look at the camera, Cheez It. Look at the camera. Look at it. No.
Yeah, I was thinking of just other ideas of Ernest does this. What's that?
Like, Ernest Goes to Thailand. Just writes its own jokes, doesn't it?
I just really thought of a dark one. Ernest escapes from Epstein Island.
Oh.
Yep. I'm sorry. I'm
Ernest
so
visits
sorry.
Mar-a-Lago.
Well, we'll think of some more like family-friendly ones. So, like, Ernest runs for president.
Yeah, I think because I'm coming up with like a dozen of them, but they're all too horrible to mention. We would find them hilarious, but I am not committing them to the internet forever by saying them on camera.
You'll tell me about them later.
Yeah, but just so you know, I'm a bad person.
Okay, so obviously Ernest runs for president. Ernest starts a plague. So this is like maybe like pre-corona. Like he brings back some kind of he brings back the bubonic plague, or I'm trying to say it correctly.
Yeah. Bubonic.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
So called because when you contracted it, you would develop a sore called a buba.
Ah.
Yeah, and so if you manage to, lance that gnarly blister-looking thing
Yeah.
early on, then chances are you would survive. But if you didn't, you ended up like most people in that plague.
Oh man, that's something new I learned. Mm-hmm. The more you know.
How to survive the plague.
If you see something, lance it. That's.
I mean, arguably, if you see a giant gnarly boil on your arm, you should get that looked at regardless.
Yeah, but obviously, like I guess most of our people that we probably watch this live in the U.S. and maybe have health care or not. Yeah, I know it's a sadness, but
Ernest deals with the industrial medical complex.
it would be very sad. Like a lot of different things Ernest probably would or could do. but they would portray it in a funny way.
It was. I mean, it was a good character.
Yeah.
It was nutty enough that even adults could get a laugh out of it, and there were definitely jokes in there that were clearly thrown for the parents, but it was obviously mainly a kids movie.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about that. Who is a character? I guess maybe aimed at kids, where they make like kid-like movies that's out there.
Oh, they do that all the time. You just got to go back and watch for it. Like, I remember when they made the Brady Bunch movie. That was like there was nothing but double entendre in that movie.
Yeah, like that I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, for the fact of, are there characters aimed at kids that are existing now that probably have like say double entendre things in there? None that I can really think of, but I'm also not really looking for any kids movies.
Yeah, I'm not well versed in current kids characters, but I would be willing to bet money that yes, there are, because that has been a long running bit. If you're making a kid show, you're not kids making it for kids. You're adults making a show for kids. Eventually, you're going to get bored, and you can throw in something that the censors will say, I see what you did there, and the parents will,
that's very clever.
If my kid wasn't busy picking his nose right now, he might think that was funny.
I don't know. Like, I know that there are probably tons of YouTube channels out there. Because one I know of that everyone kind of talks about is Cocomelon.
I've heard of that one.
Like, yeah, I guess that's really one of the very popular shows out there for kids, and I have no idea what it's about. I've heard the name.
When it sounds like it's about tropical fruit.
It could be. But, like, I've heard the name, but I have no idea what it really is about. But apparently, kids will watch it over and over and over and over again.
Like kids do.
Yeah. But, when I was younger, when we had VHS, if there was something that I really liked, I would watch it over and over and over again.
Because there was nothing else to watch.
Yeah, we didn't have the luxury of, the internet.
And streaming services.
Yeah, we had books and VHS and our imagination.
We had home movies.
Oh, yeah, we had whole movies. That can lead into what you sent me a text about, making a movie.
Oh, okay. I guess we're going to. So, we're going to make a movie.
Yeah, and please.
You might be involved.
We need your help.
Yeah, because we are broke.
Yeah.
Going to try and put together a short movie or a short film because, as it turns out, we know a lot of creative people. And, we can con them into working with us.
Possibly. But please, like, I purposely didn't ask you about what the movie was about. I guess until like right now.
Well, I have an old script. It's not going to be very good to talk about it, but it's an old script. I think the title was "The Day Warren Quit Smoking," and it starts off. There's a running gag which every time he tries to light up a cigarette, something more horrible happens to him, and some of it is based on real life. Even though I've never smoked cigarettes, I have had some horrible incidents happen to me that were not my fault. And I'll spoil one for you because it is, if you're not me, it's a genuinely entertaining story. I'll tell you the original story and not the, adapted for the script version. So I was doing something or other in my parents' kitchen like 20 years ago. And there was a key ring on there on the table that I didn't recognize. So I was like, whose keys are these? I picked it up and said, is that a lighter? Who's got a lighter in the key ring? And I pushed the button down and there's this little up in the air. It's like, was that pepper spray? And then my lungs chimed in and said, yes, asshole, that was pepper spray! And so after pepper spraying myself, I was like, coughing off. Yeah, so it was miserable. And I didn't even hit myself directly. This is like, a mist straight up like maybe a foot in front of my face. So it's just like incidental pepper spray.
Yeah.
And it was miserable. I do not ever want to be actually hit with pepper spray because that shit was bad. And I then, after finally, getting my eyes cleaned up and stopping with the coughing and, cursing, which I'm doing again now, I looked again at it. I was like, what kind of asshole makes a pepper spray device that looks like a cigarette lighter? He's like, somebody is going to like take it and shoot themselves right in the fucking eye. And then I looked up the website. The website, I'm not making this up. The website has a picture of a kid playing with it because it's supposed to be child safe.
Okay.
Amazing. So yeah, that was the opening scene, or the inspiration for the opening scene of the to-be-filmed movie.
Yeah. It might be on Tubi.
Damn right.
Yes, we're trying to make a Tubi movie to get onto Tubi.
We can do this.
I believe we can, because I do appreciate Tubi for what it is.
Tubi, I've been really enjoying Tubi. It's got access to, a actually pretty varied catalog of, movies that I actually want to see. It's not all just, like lowest budget filling in the catalog, with it's like you and your 3 friends made a movie. You had, one camera and a potato, and you had to make a drama about someone kidnapping a child or something.
Yeah, we've seen some of the stuff that is uploaded on there, and it seems like they went to some film schools and asked them, "Hey, can you make a full feature film on a budget of nothing?"
It's like, sure, I can do that, but I'll have to skip introductory filmmaking.
And they're like, "It's okay, we got you."
Yeah,
it'll be a credit on your resume.
Yeah, so we love Tubi. Tubi is a good service, but also some Tubi movies, phenomenally bad.
Oh, because I want to describe it again. I may have described it on here before. So
it's going to be a running theme with us.
It could
I think.
be. Yeah, we repeat ourselves, but everyone repeats themselves. It's okay.
We just document it so that we look stupid.
Yes. And you get to watch us look stupid after repeating it, and you figure out, you're like, they talked about this before, so then you get caught in the loop.
Yeah, so then you can comment, and you can point out where we've talked about it before, and you'll get a gold star.
And what, 1,000
love bucks.
Yeah, 1,000 love bucks. I was getting to it. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to now enter into a partnership with what's his name's contracting service.
Yeah, I guess I think it's Chad Love.
Chad Love, yeah. Which
Love.
Also, like, regardless of anything else, fantastic porn name there, Chad.
It could be. You know what? I'm thinking about something else. So, when was the last time you actually maybe really paid attention to a? I think I'm editing this one.
Are you going to say one of those banned words again?
I think everyone replaces the word porn with corn or something else.
No, because when I watch a Korn movie, I want to see actual corn.
No,
I want to see, Outlander, we have your woman.
No, if I'm going to watch a Korn movie, I want to see Korn, Korn.
You know how you can start a fight? Ask a Korn fan, what's the difference between Korn and Tool?
Yes. Getting back to the point, I think we're...
Also, it's pronounced Korn.
Korn. When was really the last time you paid attention to a Korn star's name? Because in the last ones I've ever seen, they never have a feature. It's not saying starring this person. It just kind of starts and they're already doing something.
Well, I mean, it depends on, I guess, what you're looking at, because there are on the Intertron, there are certain people that I guess become stars within the industry, and so there are people that they get their own feature shoots and films and all that. But for the most part, there's I don't know how it actually breaks down. There's also lots of websites that just do nothing but like single scene shots. So it's just like, okay, we have one gimmick here, and it's the girl shows up at the door, and I have a pizza, and or maybe it's there's one gimmick, and so every scene is the same scene with a different girl. Or there'll be a studio actually trying to put together, releases, sometimes maybe a whole movie with a plot, or sometimes it's, just a series of unrelated scenes that they, just
all
collect together.
Yeah.
But there are, if an actress is popular enough, she will get, repeated work and will get featuring stuff. Yeah. Also, some pornographic actresses have phenomenal names, although the truly clever pun names have been, they've dwindled a little bit over the years. But
well, yeah, they all get used. So if they try to revert back to, this creative name, they're like, oh, that person returned back from 1993, and then you're like, oh, that is not the same person.
No, 1993 might as well be, the 5th century in porn years.
Yeah.
Because I guess I don't know what the average career time span for a female porn star is, but
I know.
It's probably on average, I would say probably 2 or 3 years. But the longer ones can go for a decade or so.
It is vastly different because there was a documentary I watched that was featuring a lot of Korn stars, and they were talking about the average career of a woman in the industry.
I suppose you'd have to also factor in all of the individual scenes where it's one person made a decision hastily, and there's one scene of that person that they're trying to get erased from the internet.
Yeah, and they can't anymore. So the average career is anywhere, and I guess people can fact check this if they want to. You make sure you enrich your internet.
If you're a porn star and you happen to watch our content, please get in touch with us.
Or if you're inspiring. I believe they said that the average career is anywhere from 10 to 12 months, or 10 months to 1 year, essentially. But I guess on like I said, on average 10 to 12 months. But there's a lot more people that do it shorter, so they do it for maybe 3 to 5 months. But in that 3 to 5 months, they are in, say, average woman was doing maybe 3 films a week.
Yeah, and some of them, if they are a particularly popular new star, some of them can probably film multiple scenes in a day.
Yeah, because it will go on. But yeah, there are other ones that go on for years or even decades, and hats off to you for doing something that's taxing. It is really, really tough. And a lot of people,
porn stars are athletes. I mean, there's no getting
really
around.
Because that was 2 episodes ago. We were talking about.
We talk about porn a lot, folks.
You talk about porn a lot. Hey, you do. I'll talk.
Who brought this one up?
You did?
I did not.
Rewind it back. Let's look.
I'm going to be so disappointed if I brought this up.
We're going to find out.
You're editing it.
I know. But getting back to it's saying them doing the acting part, being athletic, looking good on screen, and then being on set for hours on end. That job is very, very tough. Mm-hmm. And as a young person, when you're in your teens, you're like, oh yeah, I could do that job. I'm going to do this. You're like, yeah, you're starting off. You're not gonna be having the fun with the people you kind of find attractive. You're going to start at the bottom of the barrel.
You're talking about male porn stars.
No, everyone. So the only ones that not even the women get to start off with, the super hot dudes that they want to, or if they find whatever they find attractive.
Well, I guess there's probably some line between, women that are, I guess, kind of I don't want to say coerced, even though that's probably the right word. Like, pressured by the industry into working with people that they might ordinarily not want to. But for the most part, as well, the reputation of most of the, I guess, reputable parts of the industry is that, actresses have a no list. So they have a list of people that they are willing to do certain things with, and if a producer or somebody tries to get them to do something else, they can walk.
Yeah, they were like, "No, we're good."
Yeah, but it's also, as I understand it, very difficult to actually stand up for yourself a lot, because usually these are very young women that are entering this field, and so easily pressured.
Yeah, well, I think that that world has really changed thanks to the invention of the internet. Also, like OnlyFans, fans only, and
Yeah, I mean,
other
that's sort of the
things
whole
out
point
there.
of OnlyFans is that anyone that has the drive can make content and sell it directly, and they don't have to deal with porn production people.
Yeah, they just have to deal with like, oh, we get a, I guess a reduction because it's like, oh, if you made just on like $1,000 that month, whatever site it is, like, oh, hey, you made $1,000, we're going to take our fees, so now you get $850. And if you get complaints about that, you're like, well, like I can go the other route and try to make more money, but
Also, there is considerable overlap between the porn acting world and the stage dancing stripping world.
yes,
So at least I guess in the 90s and 2000s, it was a very common business model to do some movies and develop a fan base and then go touring
on the
while
weekends.
dancing,
And they'd
and
be
that's where
like,
you
"Oh."
made your real money.
They were like, oh, now featuring from feature films as Ass 17 and Rhino Dong 12.
Rhino Dong 12 is so derivative.
I know, but it really is because like either you really love it or you really love it.
And how do you feel about Rhino Dong? Oh,
Hey man, I really.
speaking of abrupt segues,
Thank you.
anything else?
What do you got?
Oh, the Odyssey.
Yes.
We saw the Odyssey last week, and it was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
My first comment was, boy, this shit is loud, but that was the same comment I had about Oppenheimer, because I think we saw both of them, or you didn't see Oppenheimer with it.
No.
I saw them both in the IMAX format, so they have the sound system that is just designed to rumble you to pieces in certain scenes.
We want to shake your bones.
Oh, yeah, and bones were shook. But, yeah, I will point out that all of the internet clamor over historical accuracy, over a fucking piece of fiction, there were some bits with the armor that I found unbelievable. The only one that I will comment on is a guy jumps out of a boat wearing full armor and starts swimming when he should probably have sunk immediately and died.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one thing. But all of the effects were done, or most of the effects were done without CGI. They were like clever camera tricks and large actors with small actors.
Yeah,
which
I did
think
see
is-
that.
Yeah. Yeah, 7 foot tall stuntmen with
Like 5 foot and under stunt actors, because I guess famously on the poster that everyone sees, where it's just this giant guy, and who you think is Matt Damon is truly not.
Matt Damon's stunt double was a 5'2" woman, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Who was just jacked.
yeah,
She was just
beefy arm, throw me into space kind of arm.
Yeah, because like you look at the poster, you're like, oh, you just assume that is Matt Damon, and then a CGI.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
But anyway, sorry, I cut you off.
No, go for it.
There was the one bit where we discover where Odysseus, Matt Damon's character, has been hanging out for 7 years, which is on a deserted island with Charlize Theron. Mm-hmm. Really suffering there.
No.
But we know very little about that island, other than that this is the island of the Lotus Eaters. So Matt Damon, Odysseus, was hanging out for 7 years with Charlize Theron, getting high off of lotus leaves, And apparently there was a gym there because he stayed cut as fuck for,
Yes.
for 7 years. He looks even more buff, like in his. Like I guess this is supposed to be the ancient Greek equivalent of an elderly person at this point in the story because
It could be.
he's been gone for 20 years total.
And
He's in pretty good shape.
But like I'm thinking about that, but like yeah, he could have been stayed buff because he was still collecting a lot of the pieces of the ship, the destroyed ship. So like yeah, that is heavy lumber. So he's just pulling it from the sea by himself in sand and water. So yeah,
as fitness influencers, we highly recommend the driftwood workout.
like
It burns all the core calories.
all you need to do is get a ship, crash it, and then just start pulling it out of the ocean pieces at a time over the course of years. And you just get jacked. Easy as that. I'm going to do it myself in the next 5 years. I just need to get more money.
This is the before picture.
Yes, the before picture.
This is Wilford Brimley, age 5.
Baby Wilford.
Diabetes.
I got diabetes, mama. But it was actually like a really great film. Even though I think there's some people that are decisive about it.
I mean, there are always going to be people that find a reason to hate something.
Yeah, and the reasons that they're doing online, which anything online you have to kind of take with a grain of salt, because yeah, you're right.
For example, we're online.
Yeah, we're online, and you may hate us, but you're also watching us. But some people are really picky about what they're like, why they're hating it, and they're really grasping at straws to tell you what they're like. Oh, it's inaccurate about this and this. You're like, it's a fictional story.
Yeah, there probably wasn't actually a giant cyclops.
Yeah, there also probably wasn't an island where these men that were like 12 foot tall.
Gigantic cannibals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one actually I can back up because if you are a cannibalistic society, chances are you're not going to grow that big because you're not going to get all the nutrition you need if your livestock is people.
Yeah, I guess you have to mix.
This was one of the many problems I had with the movie Bone Tomahawk. I don't know if anyone's seen that. It's like a Western horror movie.
Okay.
And so it's set in the Old West, but the horror element is there's this tribe of natives that are basically shunned by everyone else. They call them like the hungry men or something like that because they have their own little valley where they're cut off from everybody else and they're cannibals, but they're cannibals with an ecosystem apparently. And so I don't know where they get the meat because clearly they would have eaten themselves out of existence by this point. But yeah. So a lot of plot holes in that. Also, it's a really gross movie, but has some actually decent acting in it. Okay. So if you like kind of like brutal, violent horror movies, yeah, it's worth a look. Okay. It's nowhere near like torture porn like Eli Roth stuff, but it is definitely got a few gross bits in it.
I want to talk about that because it's not just so much Eli Roth because there's a lot of other.
The whole torture porn genre just mystifies me.
Yeah, because that really started after. I want to say that started after Saw.
I thought Hostel was one that it was Eli Roth that kicked off.
Eli Roth did Hostel.
Yeah, but Saw. I mean, it was.
I will say Saw kind of kicked off.
Yeah, it was brutal and gory, but there was at least as I remember, there was supposed to be some overarching theme and purpose to the violence and horror. And so he set up these horrible traps, and you could survive them, but you had to horribly disfigure yourself or injure yourself to do it, but you could still survive. He set these up and was doing so, as a kind of judgment on, presumably bad people.
Yeah, but that's that was and I know people are going to probably come after us about this. That was the premise of the first Saw, where they're like, okay,
I haven't ever actually seen all of any of them. I've just seen bits of most of them.
I'll tell you about the ones I've seen. So that was the intention of the first Saw. We're like, hey, you're a bad person, but I'm going to still give you a chance to actually escape from, this torture device. Spoiler alert. Some of them were rigged where they're like, oh, you have a chance to get out, but you really, really can't. But
that was one of the bits I saw from one of the later movies was, Jigsaw's successor, got in trouble with him because, she was rigging it so that they couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And so it was important to like the original Jigsaw that they had the opportunity, the chance to make the decision to, do the awful thing. And I guess that was like a redemption thing.
It was.
In some strange, twisted sense.
Because I'll tell you about this. So like in the original one, where it's like the two people in the room, it's whatever actor this was.
Terry Elwes was one of them.
And then he's the other one. They were chained in the room with only a saw that was available in there.
Now,
it's the name.
Well, you have seen it, right? And I'm going based on bits, but I'll let you finish, and then I will ask you a question.
Okay. But prior to that, the other actor wakes up in a tub of water. Now, he gets out of the tub, and the water drains out. He's like, that's weird as hell. But then that's when, characters wakes up, but he's on the ground. Prior to that, like when he's waking up in the tub and the water goes out, on the plug of the water, like a string that's in the water has a key to unlock his thing. But him getting up and moving, he can't see that. So when he moves and the water drains out, the key drained out too. So, yeah, you could have, got the key to unlock yourself.
It's your own fault for not being conscious.
Yeah. So, yeah, you wake up and you move, and the key just drains out. There's no other way of getting out aside from trying to saw off the chains or saw off your foot.
Yeah, some of the horror premises that I enjoy are where there is, whether it's a good reason or not, whether there has to be a reason for the bad guy or the monster to exist and to do the things that it's doing.
Yes.
There has to be some understandable motivation. And even when there's not, sometimes you can just, run with the premise like Friday the 13th. It's like, there's no reason for Jason. He just keeps coming. He is inevitable death. That's it. He just keeps coming and there's not a damn thing you can do to stop him. And that's scary.
Well, I thought the premise of Jason was... the people at Crystal Lake.
Yeah, Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, they didn't pay attention to him, and he drowned, and then
but all those people were killed. I mean,
by his mother.
It expanded beyond the campground.
Yeah, so
at some point it just became Jason is an unstoppable, immortal killing machine, and actually that was one of the main premises of at least. One or two later movies, including Jason X, where they just gave up with the whole Friday the 13th naming scheme altogether.
Well, I think there was a reason behind that. I think the rights were about to go. Is that the one?
So there was this production team that they wanted to make the ultimate fan service movie, Freddy versus Jason.
Yes.
And they got the rights to Friday the 13th and Jason, and they were waiting to clear the rights to the Elm Street movies. But in order to maintain the rights to Friday the 13th, they had to make another Friday the 13th movie.
Yes.
And they just had to make something before they got the Elm Street rights, so they couldn't make the movie they wanted to until they made this other movie because they just had to hold on to it. And so they made Jason X, which is in the future, Jason in space, and it's one of the simultaneously worst and best movies I've ever seen. I mean, it absolutely understands what it is and acknowledges it and just runs with it. It is a perfect camp horror movie.
I didn't watch it, but I remember in the trailer, one of the people that were in there, they're like, hey, but everyone, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite lines.
But we were still talking about Saw. So the gore porn thing kind of started there because, yes, there was an intention about the setups for everyone's trap. Then it became super successful, and they focused on the wrong part. So they're like,
just the gore and the
they're like, oh, let's amp up the gore, from 2% all the way to 15%, and now like the second one was just extra gory because I watched that one too, and I'm like, you know what, I'm good. Like I watched it in when they made third one, I'm like, no, I'm okay.
So one thing that I have seen, not all of the traps that I've seen in the Saw movies, but some of them, the mechanism of the trap is like, this only works because they're incredibly stupid people.
Yeah.
Like if somebody were to think for 2 seconds, they could get out of this trap without hurting anyone. Like the very first one, the thing where they're chained in there and they're just out of reach of the phone that they need to get to.
Yeah.
And they have a hacksaw, but they also are wearing clothes.
Yes.
You could take off your shirt, tie it around the handle of the hacksaw, fling it over to the phone.
Yes. You would think about that, but I think, when you get
I would have tried all kinds of shit before I got to the cutting my own foot part.
Yeah. But I think when you're in a situation of you're locked in a room with a chain on your foot, maybe you're not thinking
You've already made bad decisions.
Yeah, you already made bad decisions, so you're not really thinking clearly and having, smart thoughts.
Yeah, but that's actually sets apart the kind of horror movies that I really like. My favorite type is where the potential victim, is the clever one and like realizes something and outwits the bad guy or beats the bad guy at their own game or something like that, and like whatever clever twist they employ to do that, that's the part I enjoy the most.
Yeah, I enjoy that too, where I guess they figure out what the scheme is. They're like, oh, this person only comes to me through, it could be something dumb. It's like, they only come through me through doors. If I escape out the window, they won't follow me. Or, something bullshit like that. Or like they don't come outside in the daytime. Or it could be just something weird and you're like, oh, I figured out what it is. And now I can defeat them.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll kind of gloss over that in the writing. Like, this is why there's a great YouTube channel called How It Should Have Ended.
Yes.
It's just as animated versions
I
of
love
basically
that
all the
series.
shit we're talking about.
Yeah.
And there was one that I will always remember was like How Predator Should Have Ended. Because there's this one scene in Predator where Arnold figures out what's happening. This is a thing that's hunting them. And it's like, the reason it didn't kill this girl is because she didn't have a gun. She wasn't armed. That's why it left her alone.
Yeah.
And so, like, How It Should Have Been pointed out that, the next step would be everyone drop your guns. And the Predator's wondering, like,
Yeah, now it's just a whole bunch of buff dudes in the jungle.
Yeah, and then they just walk calmly out of the jungle.
And the Predator's just kind of like,
damn it, I guess I'll go find a jaguar.
another jaguar. Yeah, that would have been. Well, I guess it would have been. It wouldn't have been the Predator movie after that because it's like,
that was before the point.
Yeah.
Of course, then it changed because then I don't know. Maybe this is oversimplifying the way it worked because in the end, when Arnold Schwarzenegger was the only one left fighting Predator, he had, I think, maybe a knife.
He had a knife and just face mud and
muscles
and I guess a log.
Oh, he was in the woods, the jungle. Like he had access to lots of timber, I guess. But yeah, he was not armed. Like, I guess I wonder if he'd thrown away his knife, would the Predator have given up, or were they committed at that point?
Well, I don't know. That builds up on a lot of different lore, like for it, because now like the Predator series has still been going on.
Yeah, I love and I especially love the fact that aliens and Predator exist in the same universe.
Yes, yeah, they're doing a lot. They have done a lot of crossovers of I guess childhood stuff that we really enjoyed, and they're like, oh, this should happen. This crossing this. You're like, yes, it can happen.
Right. And some of it is, not thinking through, and some of it is overthinking it. But that's the great stuff about really wild fantasy properties, even like horror properties, like Alien and Alien and Predator, is that everyone knows Alien and Predator. Everyone, if they haven't seen the movies, everyone at least can identify one of them.
Yes.
And that right there, I mean, it's like, myths about Greek gods at this point. Is everyone has heard the base elements. You could tell all kinds of stories that fit within the theme, and it's open for anyone to be creative and try something new. Sometimes it's really silly and is a swing and a miss, and sometimes it's incredibly creative.
Yeah, but the ones that are like a swing and a miss and they're silly still are pretty good.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, because you're like, they tried new shit, they tried something different. I'm glad that they did. It wasn't successful, but it landed in places like on some people's hearts of, hey, that was silly, that was fun, not great, but I still went with it.
Yeah. So we are at 45 minutes right now.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we talked about porn, we talked about Predators,
Talked about the Odyssey.
we talked about Ernest.
We talked about the movie Predator.
Yeah. Yes.
See what I did there?
Yeah, well, we'll end it here. Bye, folks. They're like, oh, you got your phone. Okay, that's cute.
That's really, just let me know when it launches. I'll like and subscribe. By the way, like and subscribe, folks.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to say that.
Yeah, like,
Feels
subscribe.
dirty.
Like, subscribe, hit buttons, hit bells, do dinglings and things like that.
Remember us.
Remember me.